If you are starting out photography and you think that your photos are wonderful, you should be careful about that, and you will understand why in this video. Indeed, there is a special effect that affects all of us when we start photography, including me. I was the first affected by this effect, which is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Have you ever heard about that? It's very simple to understand, but all of us are affected by this when we start something new, especially in photography, because there are a lot of people who just say themselves that, yeah, I'm a photographer, while they just started like a month ago, So pay attention to what I will tell in this video, especially about the Dunning-Kruger effect. You will know what it is, so be very careful. So what's the Dunning-Kruger effect? I will show you on the screen the curve of the Dunning-Kruger effect, and I will explain you how it works. So there are different steps, okay, in your learning of a certain subject or photography. It takes time, and you will encounter some difficulties, but also some very positive things. But above all, there is a very huge psychological aspect that you need to take into account and that you need to be aware about if you want to evolve in the best way possible. So the first step that you will encounter when you start photography is overestimation of your work. If you start photography and that you think your photos are great and then you can do like the best photographers, and you even think sometimes that, wow, my photos are great, I think I could do the same thing as the photos made by the greatest, the most renowned photographers. I can do the same thing, it's nothing difficult. If you start thinking that way, it's not bad, okay? But you should just be aware about that, about the fact that you maybe overestimate your skills, your photography skills. That's the first step, overestimation of your skills while you didn't learn a lot about this area. Then comes a second step, which is the loss of self-confidence. In fact, when you practice more and more, you will arrive at a certain level where you feel that what you do is really bad. It's just a feeling, and I'm sure that if you practice photography for a certain period of time, you can feel that. And I felt that myself, When I started photography, I just felt, wow, my photos are great, I can do everything. Actually, right now, when I look back at my first photos, the white balance was not great, the editing was too much, too punchy, the way of taking pictures was not very good in terms of composition, it was not very relevant. So there are a lot of things you can see later in your previous work than in the moment. So at that period of time, I thought that it was perfect, And after a certain period of practice, I just realized that, wow, my photos, they're really bad. And you look in the social media, you can see that there are a lot of photographers with a great color grading, a great editing, great photos in terms of composition, in terms of framing. That's very good, and you just start losing confidence. Maybe I'm not done for doing photography, so maybe I should do something else. I just thought that, during one period of time. So I just start questioning myself about what I should do. But good for me, I kept practicing, I kept learning, and the level of confidence started to increase again, little by little, but increases again. So if I stopped at that moment, then photography would be finished for me, and I wouldn't be today in front of you talking about my experience, There is something very important to keep in mind, is that the psychological aspect is key. If you understand in which period, in which step you are in the Dunning-Kruger effect, you can develop your skills in a healthy way. So the first step was overestimation of your work. The second step is loss of self-confidence. Then the third step is the realization that you have a lot of things to learn and that you can start building your skills in a healthy way. So that are mainly the three steps of the Dunning-Kruger effect. When you start, you always think that you are the best. Then you think that you are the worst. And then the more you learn, the more you realize that there are things you can learn to improve your photography, and that you have a lot of things to do, a lot of things to accomplish, a lot of practice to accumulate, a lot of things to learn, and you can start learning in a healthy way. And this is the moment where you will start becoming a more and more skilled photographer and efficient photographer. So tell me in the comment in which step you are currently. You need to be true with yourself. You need to be honest with yourself, okay? Don't lie to yourself. Don't say, okay, I'm already in the third step. No, first step, second step, or third step, just write in the comment, and it will just show people that you are aware of where you are currently. It's only when you are aware of where you are, then you can start improving yourself, okay? So you need to be aware about that. If you found this video helpful, I would be grateful if you could put a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because my goal is to make you become a better photographer and filmmaker as soon as possible. If it's not done yet, I recommend you to click on the first link in the description to learn more about the exposure triangle, which is key, which is essential to develop your skills and to become a professional photographer or filmmaker. You need to master the 3 elements composing the exposure triangle. So if it's not done yet, click on the link in the description and I will send you that by email immediately. Thanks for watching this video, and I see you in the next one.